Hi, it's the 3rd of June, and welcome to it. And it's what time is it,
What year?
Mickey? It's 6:47. Good night,
Which year is it?
pal. 2021.
You had to think
Welcome.
about that.
It's written in front of me on the screen. Rob, yay, yay.
Oh,
You know, I've got a new button on my stream press that I've not pressed yet.
do it, do
It
it, do
it
it.
it tweets and says we're live, but I've never pressed. I'm going to press it. I'm going to press it. I'm going to press it. I pressed it. The big green tickers come up. Yay! Okay, so let's before when so people will start. Hopefully, people might ask you some funky questions. Oops, we've got to switch to the main one here. Yeah, we're on there. Oh, looks like syncing sound and vision.
Dum de dum, dum de dum, dum de dum. Rod, bad,
With
bad, bad with a barb.
that better.
It's much better.
And this was my
No, that,
my attempt at your
yeah,
logo.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm kind of limited with the stuff, with the number of letters and stuff.
Do you need more letters? Is this what it is?
No, I've got a load of letters, but they're just the shapes. So Rob, oh look, you quoted my tweet, and it was liked by you. Oh, you like me.
I do. I know. I like your tweet.
Oh, but not me.
Well, you know.
So how are you? I haven't spoken to you. It feels like forever, but 6 months maybe. I could go back and look at the stream, but it must have been.
Yeah, it was Christmas. It was Christmas time, wasn't it?
Blimey hell, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Christmas time.
Good.
So this last 6 months have been radically different from the 6 months before it.
Oh, okay.
Well, the 6 months before it, the nights were drawing in and the days were getting shorter, and then for these 6 months, the days have been getting longer and the nights have been getting shorter. So it's been totally different.
Oh, yeah. And how's the weather down there? Is it stupidly warm today?
Not as bad today as it was yesterday and the day before.
Yeah. I
Although we should admit to any international watchers that stupidly warm, we are this scale is a specific UK scale that would make people who live in proper countries with hot weather go. But yeah, it was horribly. Yesterday was horribly humid and bleh. But it's more the 5 o'clock. So that's about 4:45, 10 to 5 in the morning. A pigeon comes and lands on the grass outside our bedroom window. We got a bungalow, so we're at ground level, and it starts eating the bird food that all the tits and robins and blackbirds and everybody else and the occasional woodpecker throw on the floor. And it only does it at about that time. But Seek wakes up and goes and jumps on the windowsill and goes, "There's a pigeon. I want to talk to the pigeon. Meow, meow, meow. I want to talk to the pigeon. Meow, meow." And if that doesn't wake me up, then he leaps from the windowsill onto a squishy part of my anatomy, and then that definitely wakes me up. So for about 3 weeks now, 5 o'clock in the morning has been when I've been awake, which is yeah.
So what have you been doing with this unproductive time? So have you been going out on your bike in the morning? Because that seems like a really good time to be out.
It's a super time to go out. It really is. So the problem is that waking up at that time in the morning is that I'm not compos mentis and I need coffee and things. So I feed the cats And then if the weather's nice and all is good, then I have gone out on my bike at that time in the morning, because the sky is gorgeous, everything's quiet, there's no traffic. You cycle along and it's hilarious. You go down the lanes, because I live in the country, so you cycle along the lanes, and all the blackbirds that have got nests in the hedges, because they wake up and the road is warmer than where they were, so they all sit in the middle of the road and shout at each other. And then I come cycling along, so then they'll go in, and that one will go in, and that one will go in, and that one will go in.
Like the parting of the birds sea.
Just the blackbirds, yeah. They're so funny.
Well, we have.
And then there's a little village that I quite often ride through, and as I cycle into the village, there's just a cat at the end of the garden path, and then at the end of the next garden path there's another cat, and the garden path over there's another cat, and the garden path over there's another cat. And they've all come back from wherever they've been doing whatever they're doing, and they're all sat having a meeting, having a chat, waiting for the humans to wake up so they can go inside.
Like waiting outside from a drunken night out, and just you've forgotten your key and you're waiting for someone. It's too early to bang on the door. I'll wait a little bit longer.
I'll just wait outside.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's not too cold. But I would say I'm not an expert. I'm not even a novice. That looks a bit like a cycling top. You were just drinking. It looks like a cycling. Yeah.
No, this is Data Mine's football shirt.
Oh, okay. Did you get to pick the number, or was it just given to you?
Yes, I did.
Are you?
Keep talking. I can hear you.
You were doing some sort of dance then. I was a little bit scared. I feel like this is like my life, just talking on my own, just going, So, Rob, yeah, it's nice to be back. Good.
Yeah. So being me, this is my cycling shirt.
That's pretty groovy.
Oh, come back. Come in focus. There you go.
So fill me in, because I want to get back on my bike. I got a new bike that there's less road. So I have a really old road bike. It does the job. And then I have something that's a bit more swishy for going off the road. And I went out on that the other night through the fields when it was dark with a bright light on. It's so cool, because but I was out on it, and I've never bought any decent cycling clothes or got into it that much. But I always get cold from the wind. So have you got any? I see you can get some like windproof tops.
So
am I a wimp?
Yeah. What is getting cold?
My body, torso.
You're like here, body.
Yeah.
You're not working hard enough.
Oh, okay. And like tops of my arms, because.
So what are you wearing?
I mean, the reason why I go out at night is because I am wearing very little. No, it'll either just be a long sleeve top to cover my arms to make sure they don't get too cold, but it will just be like a normal t-shirt. It won't be anything specifically. I haven't got any cycle wear, if that.
Yeah.
I've got some padded cycle shorts that.
Vital.
But honestly, I wear them and it feels like. How do I say this without sounding too gross? It feels like I've had a bit of an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it depends how much you are cycling. But padded shorts are absolutely required. And if you're doing more than an hour or so, then actually commando is the way to go. Because the thing that causes you pain is the edges of your pants, chafing.
Okay. Yes, and obviously when they get wet with sweat, it's going to be even worse. I mean, I do
Yes.
wear sort of boxers rather than. I mean, is that too much? No. So
Yes, that's too much.
yeah, good.
Commando's the way to go.
Really?
And it's the one thing that nobody really goes, you should say this. It is. It's kind of a.
No, it makes sense. It's just
It's more
then you feel right. You need multiple pairs then to make sure that you're washing them regularly, because otherwise you're going to get seriously. I guess that's one of the reasons for you wearing underwear is that shorts don't get too sweaty.
Exactly. But what I wear is, so layers is normally the best option. I wear don't forget, I run hot. Yeah, so I don't feel the cold like other people do, and I generate heat. But in the winter, I wear a merino wool long sleeved underneath. It's just a long sleeve jersey. It's just a little bit tight. And in the summer, I wear a more tight fitting, very thin one that wicks away all of the sweat. And then one of those tops. But I have a gilly just to keep if it's wet or really windy, which is windproof.
So a gilly is what the name of the type of top.
A gilly is a sleeveless jacket.
Okay, all right.
And it is just a windproof one, and that works for me. Like everything, depends how much you want to do.
It's one of those things of not investing too much because I've got it, and so I was going to buy a reasonable jersey. Actually, I was going to buy some more water bottles and a little bag to go on it, that I can move between the bikes. That makes sense. Yeah. Bought some reasonable lights that will blind cars. And the plan is to go out when it's not too busy because I don't want to die from being hit by a car, because either of my own fault, either by the car's fault or my own fault, I'm going to get hit if I'm not careful.
So flashing lights.
I thought they weren't. So is that a flashing light on your person or on the bike?
Both. If you're worried, both.
I thought you weren't supposed to have one on the bike. Or is
that? No problem with that.
Okay.
Flashing lights. So I've got oh, they're not there, are they? Yeah, they're not there either. They're not on charge. I've got a set of lights that will flash depending on how fast you're going, and both rear and front lights flash, and I have them on all the time. So day or night, sunshine or rain or whatever, they're always on and they're always flashing. And when it's darker, if I'm out when it's darker, it doesn't happen all that often. On the back of my helmet, I've got a little
Oh yeah.
a little diddy one, which will flash as well. Yeah, so that's on the back of my helmet going along.
I probably do need to invest in a new helmet. I think the only reason I would get a helmet is so I can actually mount a camera on it. So in case, so I'll have some evidence when I die.
No. The reason you get a helmet is because your head is very important.
It's quite important.
No.
What's he?
Really important.
What are the figures there? So the main reason to not have a helmet is it's part hubris, it's part ignorance, it's part of just going, I quite like riding without a helmet and I don't fancy having a sweaty head all the time. But also, I did read something that was talking about the percentage of if you wear a helmet, the amount of head injuries drop, but the amount of neck injuries go up.
So there's
that-
studies that show that drivers will take more care around cyclists who aren't wearing helmets, and that is probably true. But that study was done in Holland, where there are a lot of cyclists. So wear a helmet or face the wrath of Rob.
No, I will, if I go a bit more, the idea was I try and ease into it rather than go stupid, because, you know, I did go out one day a while ago on the other bike, and I went out for an hour, and I couldn't sit down for a few days.
Yeah. But that's the same as any exercise. If you've gone out running for an hour,
yeah,
you know, if you've done press ups and sit ups and bicep curls for an hour, you know, the first time, that's always going to happen.
Saddle like a freaking razor blade.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you have a particular route? Because I saw your Strava, and I saw you did quite a big journey. Was that 100 miles?
No, 100 kilometers.
100k.
That was Monday, yes.
In a day?
In the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Oh, actually, so just going back to the safety stuff.
Yes.
Where do you, I'll say sit, but rather stand. Where do you sit on headphones while you're cycling?
Headphones, no, because you need to be able to hear cars.
Are we being laughed at in the background?
I quite probably.
Okay.
But
are these your jawbone ones?
Yeah,
whatever they are?
bone conducting ones.
Yeah, okay.
So I wear those because they don't cover your ears up at all. Woo, ears are still here.
These babies have got pass-through, so effectively they amplify noise outside, because you've got something in your ear and it stops noise getting in. So
they stick out like this, don't they?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried that it's quite an expensive piece of kit to drop on the floor.
And the wind noise that you'll get going past will be exacerbated by the pods as well.
What does that mean? It means
Which bit?
Sorry. When anyone says exacerbated, I've got to go, and what does that mean?
Makes it more badderer.
Oh, okay, all right, good.
Makes it much more badderer.
Much more badderer.
Much more badderer. So yeah, I have this, and it's interesting. If I'm cycling inside, I listen to music, or I watch YouTube videos or whatever. But if I'm cycling outside, I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. It's really, really peculiar.
Is that because you're doing it for the exercise inside, and outside you're sort of just enjoying it, and you're just going along and listening, and legs are moving, you're just looking at the scenery?
Yeah, and also I think because having a voice there is a bit comforting, having something there, but it means that all the nature sounds kind of come through, whereas when your music is a bit in your face, I think. And also I think because, you know, if I'm riding for, I don't know, what did I ride, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, you can really get into a podcast series or something and enjoy that, and it makes time go as well. So
yeah, I find I listen to podcasts when I was out riding, when I'm out walking. It's just kind of sometimes not even listening to it. It's just kind of that sort of. Most of the time, I am. I mean, if you're listening to like more or less or whatever, you are probably listening to it rather than just the words. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I also think because if I'm listening to music, then my brain thinks. Whereas if I have a podcast on, then my brain is processing the podcast rather than thinking. Because otherwise you can, so one of the reasons I started cycling just because we were locked down. I wasn't going to play cricket. I wasn't going to do any exercise. I was going to be sat here for, days at a time, and that's not good for the body and the soul. And it was a reason to get going and get out. And I like I like doing it. But the other reason is to take away, is to have a break. Like watching a film, like reading a book, like doing those things is actually being able to break away from this crazy world we're in. And if you go along and listen to music, I found that my brain would just carry on with oh my god, and what about, and and I'd get home and I'd be just as uptight as I was when I left. Whereas if I'm listening to a podcast, or sometimes I take my headphone, I don't actually put anything on. It's just there. But I can finish work and just be like, and then get on the bike and go out for an hour, and then I'm a human being again. Like,
Really? I sometimes put headphones on in the house. I don't listen to anything, but it's just, And then when people say, "Can you do this?" I go, just ignore it. And they go, "Can you do this?" What? Shh,
so it used to be the thing at one client somewhere. And you're in an open office, and it was like, if you've got the headphones on, or if you've got a cap on, thou shalt not be disturbed. And what I found was that the second I put my headphones on, or put a cap on, or blatantly was needing to be for the next couple of hours totally zoned in on this thing, was the moment that everybody on their world would come up. Rob, could you just answer? Can I just ask you this? Would you just mind? Like, seriously. But
we know
it's a good way of escaping.
we know that's sod's law. So, what is your bicycle of choice then?
I have a giant Defy.
I believe I've seen pictures of it as it travels around bits of the country. It by a gate, it with the sunset.
It with bluebells, it with daffodils, it with sheep, it with llamas, cows, horses. What else have we done? Chickens. We've done pigs. I try to make sure that it has an interesting life and enjoys the country. And also, that's another thing that I like doing. I like taking photos, and seeing as I haven't been traveling for 15 months, it's I've not been able to take pictures of other places, so it's a good way. I'm not like those proper cyclists who go off and do their thing and then stop for a coffee and a cake and then go off and do their thing again. I'll cycle along and go, oh no, that looked pretty, I'll take a photo. Cycle along a little bit more, oh no, that looked pretty, I'll take a photo.
Well, as long as if you do more photos than cycling, perhaps you should be cycling. Perhaps you should be walking. But it's. Do you know what? I don't know whether it's a kid thing, but one of my daughters not interested in a bike at all, and the other one likes a bike. But when I was their age, the bike was the means of being able to get around quickly and freedom.
Yep. And wheelies and jumps and falling off.
Oh yeah.
Razors.
Oh yeah.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Why are you riding that? Why? The question was, why are you riding that BMX to school? Because school was like 5 miles away.
5 miles on a BMX.
Well, so the thing is, when I get there and then when I leave, there's all sorts of fun I can have.
Yeah. But did anyone mention the lack of gears on it and the fact?
Oh, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah, I used to go to college everywhere on the bike. Yeah, that was kind of my main form of transport before car, and even after car. It's I would use it to travel to work when I worked in Southampton. After a few incidents of road rage and getting run over, you kind of become a bit. You get a bit nervous about it, and you get more nervous and protective when other cars are around you, or when you're out on the road with your children, and then cars are driving close to them. You sort of go, anger rising. Why can't you? And do you know what? I find it really odd when you look at other people driving, and they'll overtake cyclists they'll drive on the wrong side of the road, on towards a 90-degree bend. And if there's a car coming in the other direction, it's a cyclist that's going to get it because that car's going to pull in.
Mm.
And you sort of go, but for 2 minutes, or 30 seconds of waiting, it's just mental. I find it really bizarre.
It is. It's odd, but I think you probably ride on busier roads than I do. So
they're not that busy. Well,
no.
Well, I wouldn't call them that busy. They're not. We live in the country as well, and we live on a road between. The only reason you would drive through it is if you live there in the village, or you happen to be driving through to the next village. But it's not sort of a thoroughfare. So, but it's not the quantity; it's the quality. That's what I'm disappointed in. We drove by. We were behind someone, and they just decided to overtake a horse towards a 90-degree turn, and it's just like, no. You just go, but why? You wait 30 seconds. That horse they were turning off.
People are impatient, and actually, it's a good point, because if you're a cyclist and you're coming up to a horse, the one thing you got to do is tell the horse that you're coming.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, because otherwise, a horse is a prey animal. Otherwise, scary predator that you can't hear suddenly approaches from behind.
Yeah.
So, if I see horse riders, as I cycle up to them, I'll just start calling out, "Hello, horse! Hello, horse! There's a strange man coming along, horse. Oh yes, hello, rider. Hello, horse. Here I come."
Oh dear.
Horse will go. Ears will go like this. It's like, oh right. There's a thing coming. I don't quite know what it is because it sounds odd, but I'm aware there's a thing coming.
Rather than something in peripheral vision, which could be anything, but it's moving, and then suddenly I've got to react.
But it's not even like a car or something with a noise that they can hear.
Yeah.
A bike is pretty quiet, and they just zip up, and it's not right.
Hadn't thought about that. Well, good point. It's because we got horses around us, not all around us, not like in the next room. Sneaky little buggers. You can hear them climb the stairs though. That's where you know they're coming.
Our horses don't have shoes.
Socks?
I guess Billy's got a sock, but not really.
Just nail. So does your horse? Is that a riding horse or is it a pet horse?
We've got 2 horses.
Your horse is plural.
Yeah, I mean technically ponies. So Patrick is an Exmoor pony. They're an endangered species, and Trace does ride him, but not very often at the moment for other reasons. and Billy is a tow rag. Sorry, is a Newfoundland pony. Who can be ridden, but he is more of a companion horse and a pain.
We have some horses in the field opposite our house. I was talking to the lady who looks after them, and she says if she can get out and ride the horses twice, 3 times a year, she'll be happy. Yeah. All the rest of the time, it's just looking after them and the effort, and then kind of by the time you've done everything you need to do, there's not enough time to actually go out and ride.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but I don't know. They're amazing animals. This time of year is good because in the evening it's actually really nice to go up to the fields on a bank, and it's south facing as well. So you just go out there and lie on the floor, just look at the world. And sometimes, not very often, but when they do, it's gorgeous. They'll come up and lie with us.
Okay.
Because horses don't do lying down all that much because digestive systems are important. But they it's happened a couple of times to come and lie, and that's magic.
Yes, very cute. The only thing that I really know about horses, because we used to live near the New Forest, so we'll go in occasionally, and the trick is that you just ignore them. If you go up to them, they go away. And so we were out there having a picnic. If you have a picnic and you sit down, they will come over. They're interested, you've got food, and they will get some. But I was just standing around, and I happened to be on the phone because I'd left my wallet somewhere like an idiot. So I was chasing up where it was, and apparently this huge head then comes over my shoulder.
Hello.
Yeah, what's going on here? It really freaked my wife out because they're not small beasts, are they?
No.
They could hurt you if they really wanted to.
Oh yeah. Oh, easily.
But the fact they don't, and if you just respect them and you don't go and bother them because they'll go away. They don't want to be bothered. And if they want some hassle, they want some fun, they'll come up to you.
Yeah.
All right. So back on the bicycles. So how many miles do you do a week then? If you do like 100 in a morning?
I didn't do 100 miles.
100K. Sorry.
So I try to do 100 miles a week, but not all of that is going to be outside. Sometimes I'm going to be in because I'm, weather, rain, time, etc. That's the aim, but it's not a goal that I set myself that I beat myself up if I don't get, at all. I ride for the fun of it and to keep myself a little bit fitter, because I enjoy it. So about 100 miles. I'll generally try and go out either in the morning or at lunchtime or after work for an hour or so during the week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, maybe.
Is that an indoor bike on rollers, or is that
it's on a trainer?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So not an exercise bike, it's a proper bike.
It's a bike.
Yeah.
On a trainer connected to Zwift. It's literally there.
The blurriness is doing the trick.
And then at the weekends, sometimes I go out with Jonathan and Nanette. So we'll go out for a ride. And sometimes I'll just go out and ride. And if I'm, like last weekend, I rode on the Saturday and rode 40 miles. And then on the Monday, I hadn't meant to go that far. I'd
meant to go that far.
Well, I'd been woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I decided, I'll go out. I don't go. So I went out and I rode for probably an hour and a half to make sure I was back in time to give Trace her meds to the 7. And then I had a coffee and had some breakfast. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to carry on. I got back on my bike and went out for a ride. I'd ridden another 25 miles or so. And then I went, actually, there's a Strava challenge for doing 100K that I haven't done this month. And this was for May. I think I'll do 100K. Google, how many miles? Because I know it's 62, right? 62.137 miles. Right. Okay. So the phone Trace and I was like, right, I'll meet you at the field, because that's kind of what happens. Is I go out a ride and then meet her at the field when she gets up there to do the boys. Like, I need to do another 17 miles or so. I'm averaging about 12.5 miles an hour, so I need to ride for another hour and 20 minutes, which fits in the time that I'm going. Right, okay. So where am I going to go? So, which is why that particular route sort of goes, yeah, I'll come down to here. No, back up here. I'll go around over there. And that's, it went round and round and round and round. As I came back, and it's like, yeah, I think this is about right. And as I cycled to the field, you come sort of through the village, you go over the bridge. As I went over the bridge, I looked down, and my thing ticked over on 62 miles. And I was like, I wonder how far it is from here to the horses. I cycled up to the horses. I'll just cycle past a little bit.
Just to get that.
Cycle back, because to get to the horses field, it's really, 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 really steep. So it's like a driveway. It's like super steep to get up and around. Cycled up and around. Stopped, looked down, 62.2 miles. Thank you very much.
Goal completed. I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
I'll have sore legs tomorrow, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. And my reward? I got a reward.
Oh, what was the reward? Tell me.
So I got to take our 2-wheeled wheelbarrow. So wheelbarrow with 2 wheels, and take it around the field with a big scoop and fill it.
Yay!
I'm so lucky.
You've got the best family in the world.
It was amazing.
The shame you weren't using Strava to clock up the miles on the wheels of the wheelbarrow.
It's true. I think I do sometimes turn my watch on to walk, just to see, because it's only because you come back and you replay it, and it's hilarious. Because I'm a child.
No. You got to do it at least once, and then you grow up. If you're doing it every time.
Oh.
No.
Oh, hang on a minute. You said grow up. Are you supposed to grow up?
No.
Okay.
I think you're supposed to pretend to grow up, but in fact, the secret is you don't.
Oh, good.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. It's right. Both of our listeners won't notice. It's okay.
So I've got 2 more questions about bikes, but that's all right. So
yeah.
Your feet. Are you a cleat man, a toe grip, or have you got?
Cleats. Yeah, cleats.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's something. I've got toe grips on one, and I do love them. I never, when I was riding a lot, I never had toe grip. I never had cleats. I don't think I even knew they really existed. But just makes so much sense. It takes a little while to get used to. You do have the odd.
It's the stopping and the getting out is the bit that needs practice.
Yeah.
But you can so when you adjust the tension, so they're actually quite loose in the beginning.
Okay, and then they keep popping out, and then you get used to the fact that it's a twist of the ankle or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's just a twist like this on the.
And then I think they're called TT handlebars or T handlebars. They're like the Iron Man ones. I mean, I think they're so cool. But it's just like, it's just so good. I mean, to me, they look like the best things in the world.
Don't get any of those. You'll fall off.
Well, do you know what I used to do when I was on my road bike? And I think I did. I would do that with just on top of the handlebars. Put my hands out, so they're tucked in like that, so you're more aerodynamic.
Yeah, there's that definitely exists, but then you're also a long way away from your brakes and your gear changing.
Brakes, gears,
and if you need to if you actually have one of those TT handlebars, your steering and everything is all a bit different because it's all in a straight line.
Yeah, I can't imagine you would be steering because
yeah. You can lean over a bit, but that's. But not interested. Do you know that? If I was 30 years ago and wanting to go as fast as I possibly can, then maybe I would have done that. But on the road. Yeah.
Okay, because I like to ride to get places, and I enjoy it on the way. But if I'm not going anywhere, I almost feel it's a bit of a. I don't know. It's just like a really bizarre thing of. It's a bit like I won't go somewhere in a straight line and walk right back. I'd rather go in a bit of a circle. I feel it's a bit of a waste of just riding and going one way. I mean, I do it. I think I went to there's a little waterfall, but there's a river near it's about 2.5 miles away from my house. So I rode to that and went, oh, this is pretty easy. Oh, I'm really enjoying this. Got there, took some pictures. Yeah, I mean, the reason you enjoy it is because a lot of it is downhill. And on the way back, there was a couple of stops. I realized how unfit I was.
But the thing about that is when I started riding, I maybe rode 7 or 8 miles and was like, oh my goodness. Oh. And I can't walk and I can't sit down and oh my god, this is terrible for days. And then I did it again and then I did it again. And then you get to the point where what seemed like a mountain becomes 20 seconds of effort and I'm over it. Yeah. And that's been like in the last 14 months, something like that. I've done 4,000 miles, I guess, which sounds like, oh, wow, from nothing. I mean, I rode before, I hadn't ridden for 5 years probably. And looking, because you record stuff on Strava, you get all the data, you can compare back to, what you did last month, what you did 2 months ago, what you did a year ago. And you can gradually just see yourself getting better, but you notice it much more. So you notice that actually, that thing that used to be really hard, I just fly over now. And that thing I thought, there is no way I would be able to do it. So you'll see a lot of photos of that I sent to Gianluca in the morning. It's from just outside the house, looking up at the hill with the monument up on top of it. And straight outside from outside ours up to there is quite a steep ride. And the first time I tried it, I got a third of the way up. I went, I'm not doing that. and literally didn't try it again for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. Because now I can ride up it.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say it was easy, but I can ride up it. And now I can ride up it without stopping. Whereas like the first time I managed to ride all the way up to the top of it, I probably stopped 4 times, and then now I can do it without stopping. And sure, it's hard, but the last time I did it 5% quicker than the quickest I'd done it before when I was really trying, or you'll cycle something and it'll be at the end of a long ride and look back and go, well, crikey, that was the fastest I've ever ridden that bit, and that was the end of a long ride. Well, wow. So you get that improvement, but it takes time and repetition because it's exercise.
And it's hard, and you need to put work in the hard stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be hard. I want it to be easy. Why isn't it easy? It's
because if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. Well, I guess everyone can do it. I find it's sometimes I can put stuff off because I can always find something else to do, and I struggle with carving out that time because I go on the bike. I've got to take dog for a walk. I can just do that email, or I could just do this.
Best way to do it
is
to do it. Like literally, just go. I'm doing it. And I think the other thing is, for me early on was when I was making that change of routine was to make it easy for myself. So the bike is here on a trainer, and it is set up, and there are a pair of shorts there, and there are a pair of socks there, and there is a towel there. Like, literally, they'll be there. So all I need to do is get a drink, and I can get on it, and it's really simple. Whereas if I had to go and get the bike out of a cupboard and set it up and do that, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's make it easy, but it's just do it.
Yeah, I will. It's that motivation. I spent a little bit of money on a bike. I'm going to start using it, and that's the whole point: is to use it a bit more, have a bit of fun, and trying to encourage my daughter to go out a bit more, because we went out for a ride, and she was saying which way we go, so then I decided, and then I went, let's go this way. And then it was over some rough ground, and she didn't like that. And then it was next to a river, and then she got me upset because it was too far away from home. Bad parent. Then we had, of course, we were like at the furthest point. It was just like,
always.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to go back now. Right? Do we carry on, or do we go back the way we came, which we know will be tough, or do we carry on where we know it will be a bit tough, but it should be better? Oh, let's carry on. It'll be fine. Yeah, I got a little bit of stick when I got back. Daddy made me ride for days. It was like 5 miles or something, and we did it about an hour and a half. So it was like really leisurely riding. We walked for like a section of it. It was cross country, so it got a bit bumpy and stuff. Yeah.
The worst thing was end of last summer, I suppose, when I've been riding a bit. And my dad said, I'll come out for a ride with you. So my dad is 72. I couldn't keep up with him.
Oh,
he's got an electric bike.
Oh, did he tell you, or did you know it was electric when you went out?
Oh no, yeah. He lives next door, so yeah. I mean, I knew that, and I've had a go on it, and it was kind of fun. But on the flat, no problem. As soon as you started going uphill, he just carried on at the same speed. No difference to him.
Oh, genius.
I cannot ride up this hill as fast as you can. I'll wait for you at the top, he said.
Yeah. But what about downhill? Will it try and maintain the same speed and push energy back into the battery, or does it just not work?
No, they're not that clever. As I understand it, I think it depends on the type of motor assembly you've got as to whether it actually gives you any drag when it's freewheeling. But I mean, my dad is not interested. He'll just let it go. But if you wanted to, if you wanted to go fast with it, it's going to go faster because it's heavier. So gravity's
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
that. But yeah.
Damn you, Newton, with your laws of physics. All right.
But it is a peculiar feeling of pushing and cycling and getting to a hill, and just you carry on cycling with the same amount of pressure as if you're on the flat, and yet you're going up the hill at 14 miles an hour, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, this feels like cheating. I mean, you have to put some effort in, of course, but yeah, that was good beans. That was.
Yeah, and I guess if you were in a race, as long as there's enough flat and not as much uphill, then you could do pretty well.
No, you'd want it to be uphill because they're limited to, I think they're limited to 20 miles an hour. But I mean, my dad stops giving assistance at 15. I could ride 15 miles an hour on the flat.
Yeah. But you can't do 15 miles an hour uphill.
I can't do 15 miles an hour uphill. No.
So the more flat, he'd take you on the uphill bits, but you could do 15 easily on flat.
Depending on where the wind was and what the definition of flat is, and. But yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's a bike. You're putting enough energy in. You'll do. I've been behind enough cyclists that are doing 25 miles an hour on flat. Not, but near that range. Maybe low 20s, but depends how accurate the car speedo is. But
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
But
there's not much flat around here.
No,
it's not like that Norfolk. See,
you say that. I think in general it's flat, but we live on a hill. Not a big hill, I give you that, all right. But you get quite a bit of flooding and runoff from fields, and so you do notice where the hills are. So we've got a church, local church. That's almost always on a hill, so it's visible.
Yeah.
So you have a big hill there. The only bit that's frustrating is I went past the church, and then there's you go down a bit further, and then there's a 90-degree turn, and you can't pummel around that 90-degree turn. Not without either doing it a lot and getting used to the speed of the bike and knowing you can handle the turn. Slowing down on downhill just kills me.
Disc brakes.
Yeah, well, they're just more efficient, aren't they? Disc brakes.
Oh, like the way more efficient. Yeah.
Well, and too hard,
and they don't
rubber pressing against the.
Yeah, it's 2 bits of, I don't know, something that's probably terrible to you, squeezing against steel or titanium or whatever it is. But they also don't get wet or dirt from the road as much because they're in the center of the wheel and not on the edge.
Yeah.
But the difference in being able to stop is unbelievable.
Yeah. My bike isn't that expensive to have disc brakes on it.
But yeah, I think disc brakes will be. I think they're that much in the expensive range now that they're really starting to come in. But that's what helps me. Unfortunately, what doesn't help you in those scenarios is if I'm cycling downhill and coming uphill is a tractor and a trailer, and we're on a very narrow lane and there isn't any room either side. And then then you have to stop kind of quick, and I can make my back wheel bounce as I'm stopping.
Oh, okay.
And then you hope that you're not hitting any mud or any gravel or anything as you go, but it's kind of fun.
I mean, it's the last time I went out. I had a little, should we say, a little bit of a challenge with the car. There are passing places, along the road, because single track road, passing places. The car decided it didn't want to stop in a passing place and let us go by. It thought it could just drive at us. So I wasn't having any of that.
There are idiots in the world.
Yes. Unfortunately, the person who loses is me if that's if anything happens to be on a bike, it will be purely my own fault. If I die riding, it will be my own stupid fault. I just you've got no safety. They're in a steel, they're in a shell. They're in a car. And you're not.
Oh, you need a helmet.
Yeah. Yes. When you get run over from behind. I mean, I did have a helmet on when I got run over. That didn't really help. The bike didn't survive very much. Who runs over a bike on a roundabout?
People, who drives into the back of somebody who was parked on the side of the road on Christmas Day? Yeah, stuff happens.
Where's my emergency question book?
I don't know.
We've been talking for ages. Oh,
we have. My tea's going to be ready soon.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Arctic DBA, if he's around. Oh, I bought this for like £1 something. You're not doing your thing, are you?
Firefly, the complete. Okay. That means nothing to me.
Okay. Means something to the. What question would you like? What number? Oh, I was scanning through it earlier and I found quite a nice question. It was for.
No, hang on. I need to know what number it was.
Was it Sarah Pascoe? All right. Okay. You might. What about 490?
I was actually looking at a different book.
Oh. I do love Mark Thomas. Do you know what? I think I've listened to the podcast, or I've certainly been to one of his shows, and I certainly either listened to the podcast or one of the shows of that. I think it was is that the one where someone does a cake that you have to apply to protest? Have you been through it?
Yeah. It's 100 acts of minor dissent. So it's it's literally each. I thought there were some short ones in here, but they're all a little bit too long. But
the one where you have to fill in a form to protest around Westminster, and it doesn't say what format it has to be on. So somebody did it on a cake.
Yeah. It is. It's that sort of thing.
And there's one about a very nice policeman who they've submitted like 100 different protest requests, but different places. So but there's also another protest going on at the same time. So the policeman says, to enable you to protest, we're going to give you a police escort. And someone comes up to them and says, where are your forms? And what they've done is they've stuck them to the inside of a bin, a wheelie bin. He goes, look into the bin of forms. I think it was the bin of consent. I think it was.
It is exactly that. So anyway, so this question.
Oh, okay. What's the worst thing a cow has ever done to you?
The worst thing? Whoa. Cows are amazing. So my stepdad was a herdsman, as in the person that goes and gets the cows in and milks them.
So,
So cows are amazing.
is there a name for a cow herdsman? Because obviously there's a shepherd for sheep.
He's a herdsman. Yes.
All right. So that is the term. I just
Yeah.
thought it was like just a general term.
No,
because obviously the cows are in herds.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I guess one probably stood on my foot once.
Damn them. That was pretty tame, wasn't it? We
didn't
really learn.
Cows are amazing. They're really clever. They understand far more than you think a big animal who just stands around chewing appears to.
Yeah, I guess I don't partake in cow juice. No, right, can't have that one. That was too rude. Oh, have you ever met your doppelganger?
So here's the thing. I have never met my doppelganger, but I am absolutely certain that I have one. And the reason I am so certain that I have one is because my doppelganger's mum let me into her house thinking that I was her son.
Okay.
So I used to deliver organic vegetables, and you go on these rounds, you do this stuff, and so it's probably 80 miles away from here, and I was driving around, and normally at this particular place I would have just stopped and put the box and grabbed the empty box and gone, but I had to ring the doorbell because they needed to pay their bill or whatever. So I rang the doorbell, and I literally rang the doorbell, and I'm stood holding a box of vegetables, looking up. She opened the door and she said, "Oh, hello, Mark." I turned around and walked away. I'm like, "Don't leave the door open. Come on in." Oh well, this is
A little awkward.
This is uncomfortable. So went over there, stood, and I'm like, and she's gone into the kitchen and she's put the kettle on and she's got the cup down, and she comes out in the kitchen and she goes, "Oh my God. It's your veg." I thought you were Mark. My God, don't you look like Mark? That's amazing. I got to take your photo.
Take your photo?
Well, yeah, to show him. And she's like, "Look." And she, like, on the picture, on the wall, there's some photos of me on the wall. Like, wow, it was absolutely astonishing. And in that town, there were probably 3 or 4 times when I'd be driving around, or I'd be getting back in the van or something, and somebody would shout at me, "Oi, Mark, like this." Yeah, no, sorry, I'm not Mark. And that was
weird.
That was unbelievable. So I never actually met him, but I am absolutely convinced, because she was just, there was no doubt in her mind
that you were her son.
That I was her son, and
you could have just moved in.
Probably could have done.
Are you sure they